and we can easily find most of these cattle breeds in most states. In addition to these common cattle breeds, the United States is also home to nearly 80 other different cattle breeds. In particular, Highland cattle or Highland cows are one of the cattle breeds that are the interest of many people. This is because of their aristocratic appearance. Highland cattle were first discovered in Scotland in the 6th century, and today they are considered to be one of the most common cattle species in southern Scotland. In the United States, Highland cattle were first imported here in the late 1890s by ranchers in Oklahoma. Today, the number of Highland cattle ranches in the United States has increased dramatically, and most of these farms are concentrated in states like North Carolina, Texas, and Georgia. Like most cattle breeds, Highland cattle usually begin to become pregnant when they reach about 15 to 16 months of age. These mother cows usually give birth for the first time when they reach 2 years old, and the Highland cow breeding process usually happens naturally and without the help of ranchers. More than 6,000 Highland cattle are born each year in the United States, 3 times less than the calves born in their native Scotland. These calves will live with their mothers for at least 6 months. They are only separated when their daily diet is more than 80% grass or hay. On many farms, calves will be separated from their mothers when they have health problems or other reasons, such as the mother's death shortly after birth. In addition, some small-scale ranchers are willing to sell these calves when they are only a few weeks old to other locations where they are considered pets. Highland cattle are very recognizable by their unique appearance. They have long, shaggy coats that help them withstand harsh weather conditions, including cold winters. Highland cows have a much slower growth rate than some other beef breeds. They are usually sold for meat when they reach 20 to 23 months of age, about 5 months later than other beef breeds. This slow-growing process contributes to their marbled colour and tenderness, which makes their meat highly prized. Basically, Highland cattle are much gentler animals than other cattle breeds. They only become aggressive when it's time to breed or when strangers are expected to invade their territory. That is, except for humans. This is a cattle ranch in the south of Scotland, home to 75 Highland cattle. Unlike other livestock breeds, most Highland cattle spend most of their time living outdoors, rather than being confined to a barn, even when it's cold. The food used for this cattle is mostly natural ingredients. Very few Highland cattle ranchers use weight gainer to accelerate their development. Normally, Highland cattle will have their front hair trimmed every 2 months. This makes it easier for them to see what's going on around them. Letting the head hair of this breed grow out is usually only allowed on farms for display or exhibition purposes. It is estimated that there are currently 650 active Highland cattle ranches in the United States. of which the largest farm is in the eastern state of Oklahoma, with about 430 highland cattle living there. Despite spending most of their time outdoors and rarely getting sick, on large-scale farms, highland cattle still need periodic health checks. Possessing a coat longer and thicker than most other cattle breeds, highland cattle have no problem in the cold season. Even when the temperature drops very low at night, these animals do not need to go to the barn to avoid the cold. Living in harsh conditions is also one of the reasons why the meat quality of this animal is always appreciated more, and it has a higher price than regular beef. At highland cattle farms for display and exhibition purposes in Scotland, cattle will be raised for about 20 months longer than on other meat farms. These animals need more time to develop to the maximum in terms of condition, thickness, and length of coat. In addition, ranchers also need more time to train their skills before they are brought to exhibition events. The Highland Show is an annual agricultural show and one of the most important events in the Scottish agricultural calendar. At this exhibition, the best of Scotland's agriculture will be on display, and highland cattle are always a part of the event. As for the highland cattle raised for meat, when they are old enough, they will be sent to cattle markets for auction before being transported to beef processing facilities. It is estimated that only around 8,300 highland cattle are slaughtered each year in the United States, and this number is only half of that of Scotland. The slow development of this breed is the main reason why farming them for meat has not been replicated. Hello my friends, today we are going to the horse farms in the United States to see how the process of raising millions of horses here happens. The first horses are said to have appeared in America in around 1493, and they were brought there by Christopher Columbus from Spain. Until the 1920s, horse numbers in the United States have considered to have peaked at about 25.3 million. According to the latest USDA statistics, as of June 2022, the current number of horses in the country is about 9.2 million, and their number of licensed horse farms is about 459,000 of various sizes. In addition to the millions of horses managed by ranchers, in the United States there are about 87,000 wild horses living in the wild, and they are concentrated mainly in states like Nevada, Arizona, California, and Colorado. It is estimated 23,000 ponies are born in the United States each year, based on reports from horse ranchers. On average, each newborn foal weighs about 110 pounds, and they can stand up almost immediately after birth. Currently, Texas is the state with the largest number of horses in the country, with 939,000 horses. The next place on the list is California with 650,000, followed by Florida with 505,000. After birth, The foals will live on the farm for about 3 days with their mothers before they are released into the pastures to run around freely. A foal needs to suckle 25 to 35 pounds of milk each day, equivalent to 30% of their body weight. This is a herd of horses in Nevada. Every morning they will be released to the pastures by the ranch owner to feed freely, and all ponies over 3 days old will also be accompanied by their mothers. Currently in Nevada, there are about 78,000 horses raised on more than 3,000 farms of different sizes. In addition to thousands of horses managed by ranchers, Nevada is also famous for the largest number of wild horses in the country, with about 42,000 horses, accounting for about 50% of the wild horse population in the country. This is a wild mare from Nevada. Look how she protects her young. A mare will not let any mature horses near her foal for the first 2 days. For the safety of the foal, the mare will attack anyone who poses a danger to the foal, even if those are healthy stallions. In the wild, there have been many cases of ponies being trampled to death by another herd of horses when its mother is not healthy enough to protect it. Currently, the most popular wild horse breed in the United States is the Mustang, which makes up about 63% of the nation's wild horse population. This is a horse ranch in Denton County, Texas. In the late afternoon, cowboys will herd horses into a fenced area to rest and avoid the attack of some predators at night. Currently, Denton County is also the largest concentration of horses in Texas, with 372 farms and more than 300,000 horses. Currently, most horse breeds raised in the United States weigh about 800 pounds for females and 1,100 pounds for males. The breeding season for horses usually runs from February to the end of May, and this happens with both wild horses and farm-raised herds. During the breeding season, the stallion